Welcome to my first video in about a week. I haven't really been able to upload anything as I've been trying to get all my schoolwork done, but now it's finally done, and in advance I apologize if there's any weird noise in this video. It's the building I'm currently in. There's tree branches scraping the top of the roof, so it kind of makes some annoying noises. But not only had I not uploaded anything because I didn't have the time, but also there wasn't really any new content. But in the past few days, this new Netflix original series called Space Force has been dropped onto the platform. And with most things Netflix, when they drop a new season or of a series, they just upload all the episodes in one go. They don't do it like once a week. So I watched the first 10 episodes of Space Force in season 1, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So basically what Space Force is this group of people led by General Nard. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But anyway, he's played by Steve Carell, mostly known for Michael Scott on The Office or the lovely Gru on Despicable Me. So he's tasked with pretty much creating a 6th branch of the armed services, which is the Space Force. Where many people had been very excited for this show is because it was created by Steve Carell himself and also joined by, I think his name's Guy Daniels. He wrote The Office, which Steve Carell was most famous for. And I think he did Parks and Recs and some of The Simpsons, but I haven't seen Parks and Recs yet. Anyway, so a lot of people were excited for this, but I'll give my opinion on this series. I know the main comparison people would try and make between this show and another show is The Office, considering it has Steve Carell and it has Guy Daniels, which, since this last cut, I haven't actually checked if that's right. My bad, it was Greg Daniels. Anyways, yeah, so if you went into this thinking it was going to be like The Office, you're kind of wrong. And to be honest, if you went into this thinking it was going to be like The Office, you would not get what you expect. Which, to be honest, I'm actually glad they didn't have Steve Carell play another Michael Scott, and it wasn't shot in the same like handheld photography kind of style like it was with The Office. I'm just not a big fan of when like a creator does something and when it becomes really famous he kind of makes like a different version of that into a different show, which I know I kind of talked about a bit in my Solar Opposites review. If you didn't know, it's created by the same people that made Rick and Morty, and Justin Roiland, who voices Rick and Morty, plays the main character and is also a creator of the show. But yeah, so I'm actually kind of glad that this didn't go down that same path, otherwise it'd just be like a B-Tech Office. But then again, if I did get given a B-Tech Office, I'd probably still enjoy it, probably more than I did this actual show. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't a big fan of the acting, but Steve Carell, John Malkovich, and Diana Silvers actually did a good job. Steve Carell's normally this kind of immature, funny, adult guy. Obviously in The Office he was branch manager, and in this he is a general and in charge of the Space Force. He has a much more serious role in this. There wasn't too much comedy from him, certainly not as much from The Office. Another comparison, but you're going to see that a lot in these reviews for Space Force. I actually really enjoyed John Malkovich's performance. To be honest, I think he was the best actor in this. I could really buy him as this scientist who helps the general. I know I praised him, but Steve Carell just felt a bit odd. Maybe it's because we're used to him being in such a comedic role, but he was quite serious here, and it just felt a bit odd. But going on to Diana Silvers, who played General Ned's daughter, I think she did a good job in portraying that she had a difficult relationship with her father and her mother, especially after the incidents that happened throughout the show. And I don't think she's been in too much, so I think this is a good impression that she gave off. The chemistry between Silvers and Carell was strong, and they made a great relationship between father and daughter, even if it was troubled at times through the series. Okay, so first of all, I must say, going into this, I know many people were excited because it was Steve Carell reuniting with Greg Daniels, but I wasn't excited for this. I actually have a trailer reaction to the final trailer of this. I found very little to kind of smile or laugh about. The whole concept didn't really excite me too much, and I didn't think it'd make for an entertaining show that much. Obviously there is some interesting things that would be done with it, but the overall concept wasn't really for me, and I don't think it was executed well. I thought it was very boring. Obviously it was shot well, but the whole concept was boring. And if I find a show overall boring and hard to sit through, can forgive it if it's just the plot, but the comedy in this is so bad. I kid you not, none of it made me laugh. Obviously, if you see my trailer reaction, I laugh at one of the jokes, but that's because I kind of misunderstood it. I took it in a different direction in my mind. But literally nothing made me laugh during this, and it was quite cringy, if I'm going to be honest. When they do have their humour, there's a lot of pop culture references shoved in there, and it comes out of nowhere, and it just feels so like forced, so the audience can relate to it. Like there's a lot of MCU stuff, there's a TikTok joke in there just to feel like relatable or whatever, but I couldn't enjoy the humor. It had me cringing and it felt so unnatural. I use that word a lot in my cons, but it felt unnatural. Right before I made this video, I looked at some other reviews to see what people thought. So people are going to disagree with me, but Ben Schwartz, his character, I can't remember his name, I think it's Tony, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but I found him so cringy, and it was very, very hard to sit through some of the scenes he was in. Now, obviously, with a lot of shows like this, there's always that one character who is the main supply of comic relief. I can't really think of any examples off the top of my head. Or maybe Chandler from Friends, that's the first thing that came to mind. But his humour was so bad, and honestly, when the main comic relief supplier doesn't deliver, that's when you know the comedy in the whole show is very poor. And I don't have anything against Ben Schwartz. Like, I'm pretty sure he voiced Sonic in the latest Sonic movie, but the character he portrayed, not dissing his acting or anything, but the character was very poor and only there for comic relief, really. Like, there's no logical sense to have him on there, like, in the job, so he's just in there for comic relief, and he doesn't really do anything except like produce cringy moments. I didn't actually fully like think these notes through for this section of my cons, but the characters, they're just not memorable. They try and do the like typical Asian stereotype kind of jokes, which just feels so cliche now, and like it doesn't bring any laughs. Once again, more cringiness, if that's a word. I don't know if I just made that up. But even like Steve Carell, I said it in the pros, he felt a bit odd not being this like kind of funny guy. He's too mature for my liking, I'm gonna be honest. Like, obviously Steve Carell's great, but I don't know if this kind of role suited him, but he did the best of what he could have done. Like, some of the relationships between the characters I didn't really care about. Like, they had so many characters by the end, like, you thought you would cheer them on, but I really didn't. There's actually one guy, this show didn't really like have an effect on me that much, so I can't really remember their names. I'm pretty sure his name's Duncan. He kind of hits on Carell's daughter. There's, I think, Diana Silver's character. He made me smile a bit, because I don't know. But other than that, I thought the characters were quite poor, to be honest. Like, nothing to cheer on. And then like the relationships are developed really quickly, but they don't really seem too realistic. And once again, I said it before, don't really care about them. So my final verdict on the show, you could probably tell I had a lot more to say about on the con side of things and a lot more in depth. To be honest, it was kind of hard to find some positives of this. I really didn't enjoy it. Even a lot of people who are die-hard fans of The Office couldn't even enjoy this one too much. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard fan, but I really enjoyed The Office. I actually haven't finished it. I think I've got like a season and a half to go, because I was pretty much just watching whatever I want and kind of doing like reviews on IMDb. But then when I started this, I realized if you want to get some views on your videos, to get some recognition, you kind of need to do the trending stuff, and that's not really trending, but I'm sure I'll do some kind of Office video in the future. Yeah, going back on track, my final verdict, I couldn't enjoy this one. I found it hard to sit through. It didn't really offer me anything new. It's not going to impact my life. It just kind of wasted my time, if I'm being honest, and for that, I wouldn't recommend it. Even if you're like a die-hard Steve Carell fan, I mean, you might have some kind of good moments with him, I guess, but if you're a big fan of The Office, you're not getting anything from this, I doubt. On IMDb, it's titled as a comedy, I'm pretty sure, as the main thing, and it's not a comedy. It's just, I don't even know, it's like I wouldn't say it's drama, I guess, I don't know, just about all the Space Force, I know because it's the title, but just chucking in like comedy which isn't funny, and the whole plot is just boring. So once again, I couldn't enjoy this. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, and just like I said, I don't recommend watching, even if you're a fan of The Office. But those are my final thoughts. I'd love to hear what you thought down in the comments, and please, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments what you thought of Space Force, and I'll see you in the next video.